Good morning. It's Wednesday, working, kinda, and trying to figure out where I'm going when I leave here tomorrow, which is proving to be a little bit challenging. So the next part of this, if I do go to those state forests, there's no hookups there, which is fine. I prefer boondocking anyway. But looking at Traverse City, Michigan. All right, so Wednesday today. So tomorrow's nice. Friday doesn't look bad. Saturday's a little warm. Sunday's even more warm. Monday's brutal. Holy shit. I thought we were getting north here. Holy crap. And I would probably depart Sunday, Monday-ish. The hard part, I like try to move on weekends because then I'm not working and I don't have to try to move in between calls and make up those hours. But the flip side of it is moving on weekends means trying to get into a campground on a weekend, which is a pain in the butt. So, we're gonna have to rethink this a little bit because 80 not bad. 85 is doable, but it's warm. 88 is just gonna be freaking miserable in this camper, so I'm gonna be baking. So I either need to get further north, which I don't want to go that far north yet. Like, so I'm trying to get to the UP like next week. So I think somewhere in northern Michigan for this coming weekend to be good, because I've got a bunch of stuff kind of around this area I want to go check out and do. So, so the state parks in this area are booked. The state forests are no hookup, nothing, and first come first serve. I might have to look at an actual like KOA campground or something like that. I don't like those. They're packed. There's too many people, and they're expensive. But yeah, I don't know. 88 degrees, especially in this rig that does not get good airflow. Like, air conditioning is going to be a must. So, gonna have to think about this a little more. Alright, it's about 4 o'clock or so. It's a little warm in the camper, but it's nice out here. It's about 82 degrees. There's some construction going on back there. It's a little bit loud. Learn that. Just watching campers pull in. People across the driveway are setting up a tent. So yeah, where was I? I was doing an update, and then my backyard neighbors got back from a bike ride. That's kind of a cool camper they've got, though. And then shortly after that, these guys showed up with the Coleman pop-up. Kind of missed mine. It was a little nostalgic hearing the click, click, click from the Wiffle Tree lift system as it went up, but this is just so much easier for this trip. Yeah, I was looking, so I did get a campsite booked for starting tomorrow, so I've got that taken care of through Sunday, so that gives me a couple days to figure out where I need to go on Sunday when I head up to the UP. These people over here have been struggling to get that screen tent up for like an hour. It's kind of funny. These guys got their entire camper raised and put together before they got that screen tent up, which is kind of funny. There's a couple of things I could go do tonight. I am super exhausted for some reason, don't know why. Resisting the urge to go take a nap because I really could for an hour. But I've got a couple of things pinned on the map I could go do and look at. I could just go up to South Haven, wander around the harbor. There is a lighthouse up in Holland, which I think is about 45 minutes from here, that I had pinned I could go check out. But honestly, I'm kind of content to just sit here in the shade. I mean, it is super nice out. It's like, you know, the sun's behind the trees here. It's like 80 degrees. There's a light breeze. It's just really relaxing sitting here. And anyway, I think I'm just kind of content just to hang out here. I've got some burgers in the refrigerator I can grill a little bit later on, and build a little bit of a bonfire when the sun goes down, which could be interesting. Because once I move my solar panels there, that fire pit is right underneath that low-hanging tree branch. So I guess it better be a small fire. Yeah, I think I'll just have a nice, relaxing, chill evening at camp. Might go over and take a shower here before before it gets too crowded. My hair is standing straight up, so could use a shower anyway. Don't know much else. Catch you later. Oh yeah, I just walked up to use the bathroom, and toilet saga update. The toilet does work on the camper. The valve that controls the water is a separate piece from the push pedal, and it's held in place by two retaining clips and a screw. And apparently that screw worked its way loose and fell out and is now lost, can't find it. But that screw holds it pressed tight enough against the foot pedal. You can't see the hand motions, foot pedal. So when the foot pedal is pushed, there's a rod that pushes it into the valve and releases and makes the water go, releases the water. And if that screw is missing, like mine is, then the rod from the push pedal that pushed into the valve doesn't actually push in far enough to release the water to make it work. So if you like bend over behind the toilet and like hold it in place and push the rod down, then the flushing works correctly. Go figure. I see a new screw. All right, dinner tonight is a very complex recipe of hamburgers on the grill. Bad news is my refrigerator has nearly frozen my meat, so this will be fun. So I usually just repackage these into little Ziploc baggies with 2 per. Makes them easier to pull out and cook later. But these are frozen solid, so we're just going to let them thaw a little bit. Meantime, let's see what we've got for seasonings. Ah, little Montreal steak. This is my go-to for just about everything. And a little bit of salt. And a little bit of pepper. And that should do her. And then when it comes time for it later, we have a slice of cheese and a little pre-cooked bacon and some fresh onion. Yummy, yummy. Almost forgot some minced onion. Really don't need this since I have fresh onion, but you know, no, gotta open it. Bought a tripod for making better videos, but haven't opened it yet, so yeah, for the time being, deal with my crappy video. But that is a very thin little slice of onion, and now we're gonna dice it up. So I just recorded that clip in night lapse or time lapse mode, which is kind of funny. But anyway, yeah, got these all doctored up. Some at Montreal, a little salt, pepper, a little minced onion, which really isn't necessary because I put fresh diced onion on top. But yeah, I got some microwave ready pre-cooked bacon, just easier for grilling. You don't have all the flare-ups and flame-ups and trying to get bacon cooked, and then I'll throw a little cheese on there, and then doctored up with the fresh onion once the burgers come off the grill. But yes, this should be delicious. And maybe in an hour when that thaws, I'll finish putting it away. All right, sweet. Get there. This is Mountain Dew, I swear. I have a sneaking suspicion. Every time I run water in here, like I just wash my hands after handling that raw meat, and every time I run water in this sink, it stinks. And I'm starting to think it's not the gray tank. I think there's something funky in the fresh tank, actually. So I'm very curious here. Because I just poured more treatment chemical down the gray tank earlier, and I'm starting to think that's not it. So we're going to take this outside and give it a sniff test. Oh, ew. Okay, yeah. That fresh tank is nasty. All right, so no more washing dishes with that. I need to drain this tank and sanitize it. This grill sucks. It's the same design of one my grandpa gave me that is still in my pop-up that I meant to bring and forgot. This is a cheap piece of crap I bought off Amazon. Same style, but like the lid or the handle is plastic and is getting hotter than hell already. And it doesn't have side vents, only one in the back for airflow, and that's not nearly enough. So, I don't know. I mean, I had these coals pretty damn hot, and this burger is still cooking. Like, it's getting close to done. Like, and I don't like my burgers, like, charcoal, but, like, I do want them done. Otherwise, they're just kind of messy to eat, you know? So that one's getting close. I think maybe now we're close enough for toppings. Grill is terrible. Don't. It's even Kings for brand, meaning they paid a licensing fee for the logo. Ugh. I should have grabbed my grandpa's out of the pop-up. Like, he gave me that one when they sold their camper. And that grill is freaking awesome. It's solid metal. It seals tight. Whew, camper smells like onion now. But it seals up tight, like it saves its coals. It's got good airflow in it when you got it open, so things cook. It's way deeper than this one. It's just like a good solid grill. All right, so take a There we go. I really need to get that tripod set up. Alright, so slice our bacon in half. Put a little slice of cheese over it. Now, personally, some people put an entire slice of cheese over each burger. I am more of a half slice. Gives you a better burger to cheese ratio. Alright, a few more minutes, I'll be done. Yeah, that is a fantastic burger. Got the sun setting over there. I mean, for a busy, crowded campground, this place isn't too bad. It's also Wednesday night, or Tuesday night. What's night? Wednesday night. But, I mean, there's nobody behind me since the weird people at the fifth wheel left. It's fairly quiet. I definitely prefer boondocking in the middle of nowhere, but when it's this hot in July and I'm not far enough north yet, kind of gotta have hookups. Is what it is. Oh, I'm stuffed. I didn't even open that can of Pringles. Almost 2 burgers and that banana, and 3/4 of a can of Mountain Dew here filled me up. I think we got about an hour till sunset, and then we're gonna get that fire lit. Well, I was gonna watch the Diamondbacks game with my fire tonight, but I thought it was a 9 o'clock Eastern start, which would be in about 15 minutes, but apparently it's 10 o'clock Eastern start. So I may have to wait, which is okay, because I really couldn't put that in my video because you cannot redistribute any pictures, accounts, descriptions of the game without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks and Major League Baseball. So I guess no baseball, we'll just sit and enjoy my fire for a little bit. And when the sun goes down in half an hour. Damn, I was gonna watch some of the game. Oh well. Especially because they're playing the Padres tonight, and I don't know if that'll focus. Probably won't. But we are currently tied for second with the Padres, so it could be exciting. Okay. Maybe I wasn't going to watch it anyway. Oh, you pay for the MLB TV or the D-backs package, whatever, and then 3/4 of the games are still blacked out anyway. Pisses me off. About that time, eh, chaps?
Now we've got missiles flying everywhere, passing each other. Russia's like, ah, motherland! Then England's like, about that time, eh, chaps? Righto.
Gonna need another one of those Mountain Dews here pretty soon too, but it's a gorgeous evening out here. These fire rings are interesting. It's concrete poured in between these inner and outer steel rings. And they're really not that deep. Because as far as I can tell, like, there's concrete in the bottom of that thing too. I guess since the ground around here is all basically pine needles and other brush, it's to keep the whole place from going up in flames. I don't know. Yeah, I think oh, looks like a little fire going over there too. Yeah, I'm totally relaxed. I know it may sound like I'm complaining in some of these little clips, but no, this trip's going great. Having a lot of fun. It's nice just to be away from home, and even though I work all day every day, it's not exactly all day. My job is pretty easy going these days, and it's so nice to be able to get out and do this. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy my fire for a while and catch y'all later. Experiment. just how flammable is all this pine brush. Yeah. That explains the giant concrete fire rings. Okay, so my neighbor's over there. Fire going. But like the lady is like moving the air mattress and all of their bedding like out of the tent. Like, she kicking her husband out for the night? I don't know. He seems to be enjoying his fire. These are the things that amuse me in campgrounds. Because usually I go camping by myself, but you can always find something to entertain you. As much as I generally don't like camping in such close quarters to neighbors, the one benefit is the people watching. But damn, that's a nice looking little fire right there. I am Chief. Want big fire. Insert Pirates of the Caribbean clip here.
Forward! Big fire! Big fire! I am Chief. Want big fire? Come on!
Damn, there's just nothing more relaxing on a Wednesday night, not quite in the middle of nowhere, with a nice little fire. Nice campsite dinner, freshly digested, nice cold Mountain Dew, or something like that. As long as I'm thinking of it, I should probably capture like a thumbnail for my video. Maybe something like that. Maybe brighten her up a little. Ooh, there we go. I noticed with last night's video, I was sitting there playing with the dim settings on that one sunset shot. It looked like shit in the video. Yeah, not a professional YouTuber. There we go. That could work maybe. Maybe. Or over there. Man, I love camping though. Like, this isn't even camping. This is cheating. But I mean that trailer makes traveling so much easier. But I love even just weekend camping trips. That's why I kept the pop-up and didn't sell it when I bought the trailer here. I mean, this is for traveling, you know, twice a year for multiple months. But the pop-up is for camping. You know, taking a long, you know, 3 or 4 day weekend or even a week-long trip, and you just go to one spot and you set up, and you know, a real camping trip, like the setup and tear down is part of the trip. Like, I read in these online forums, you know, people complaining about how much work the pop-up is, and to get it set up and tore down all the time, and you know, I just don't want to deal with it. And like, I kind of get it, because that's the way I am with traveling. Like, it's just too much work every couple of days to move that thing, and especially have to, you know, put it up and tear it down and put it up in the same day. But like, for a real camping trip, I mean, that's just part of the experience. That's just awesome. Like, I mean, I really miss tent camping. Like, you know, I grew up tent camping. My best friend's parents used to sometimes let me tag along on their family camping trips. Like, those are some of the best memories of my childhood. That's how I got the camping bug, you know? And like even when I was in college, like I still love tent camping. Like, you know, just load up the pickup with, you know, some tents and a couple of totes of cooking gear and some firewood and the dog back then, and like, especially when I was living down in Tucson, just like go up in the mountains somewhere and tent camp, you know, put up a tent, and if it was gonna rain, you put up some extra tarps and put up some tarps over the dog kennel. Did that once, maybe twice. And you know, you just be outside and enjoy the outdoors and cook some food and sit by a fire and drink some beverages that are malted, you know. It's the good old life. And God, it's so much fun doing that. And the only reason I ever bought the pop-up was, so I had for the longest time I had this little like 5x8 utility trailer, and I kept all my camping gear in that. There, you know, like the front. Whoa, what the hell happened to my video? There we go. But yeah, so I kept some firewood in it and like all my camping gear. So like if I decided on like a Friday at like 4:30 as I was leaving work that, hey, I want to go camping this weekend, like all I really had to do is go home. Like I didn't have to like spend an hour like loading up the truck with camping gear. Like I just hitched up to that trailer and threw a cooler in the back and, you know, change of clothes and the dog and and off I went. And I love that. But the pop-up made it a lot easier that, you know, stuff was always stored in the camper. There's less to, you know, it's kind of a similar notion that all I really had to do is hook up and load up a little firewood and you know, grab the dog in a cooler and go, you know, stop at Hy-Vee on the way out of town and grab some food and stuff. But it got to a point where, like, you know, I gradually like grew up, if you will, from, you know, just sleeping in a sleeping bag on the ground to an air mattress. Like this YouTube channel I watch quite frequently, he described it once as an air mattress is great if you want to sleep on the ground, not right away. And then he later had a joke in another video like an inflatable kayak is great if you want to go swimming, but not right away. But and then I moved up to the cot, and the cot worked pretty well except for Benji. That dog was the bane of my existence. But Benji was a cuddler, and so usually what would happen is that dog had the most like den-like instincts I've ever seen. Like he was always crawling under something to, like, you know, like protect himself, hide, right? Not necessarily hide from me, but like he always wanted to just be sleeping somewhere, like under a bed or under a couch. So whenever we go camping, like he would inevitably start the night sleeping underneath the cot, which is fine. But then in the middle of the night, he would try to climb up onto the cot with me, and 9 times out of 10 tip it over. And so we were camping once. I don't remember where or when it was, but we got this huge ass downpour storm in the middle of the night, unexpected. And the tent was pitched on like some sort of hill or slope. And so in the middle of the night, the storm comes through. I have a river running through the middle of my tent, but I'm dead asleep. I don't even notice until, like, I don't know, 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, whatever time it was. Benji, sopping wet, crawls out from underneath the cot, because that's a river, up onto bed with me. You know, and as soon as he jumps up on the cot, he wakes me up, and I immediately smell and feel wet dog. Well, then he tips us both over, and we both land with a splash in the river of water that's just pouring through my tent. And that was about the point where it's like, okay, tent camping with a cot is not really working anymore. And then, you know, fast forward a few years, I had a severe back injury, and then that really put the kibosh on it. But that happened after I kind of gave up the tents and moved into the pop-up. And the pop-up was nice because I didn't even use like any of the systems on it, like except for that one time I went to Washington DC with it. Like I never like used the air conditioning. I didn't use the water systems. Yeah, I used the batteries just a little bit for, you know, some lights and to charge my phone and stuff. But basically I treated that thing like it was a tent on wheels, you know, and I had a bed with a mattress up off the ground, and yeah, wow. I love pop-up camping. So it's kind of nice to look around this busy campground and see, you know, pop-ups all over the place. It's dark now, you can't see anything, but um, I love that pop-ups have not really gone away, and that there's still people who love them like I do, and that's why I kept mine. You know, after this trip is done, hopefully I'll get some weekend camping trips in that pop-up yet, because that's just, you know, that's what a camping trip really to me is about. It's like, you know, tent camping and just being outside and cooking good food and enjoying a fire and a little music or a baseball game, whatever. And there are people who, you know, say I'm crazy because I don't, you know, bushcraft it or, you know, backpack camp or stuff like that. But, you know, if you're outside and enjoying the outdoors, and more power to you, even if it is in a stupid rig like that thing. Alright, I've been rambling for like 8 minutes now, so back to my fire.
This is Ildemaro Vargas. The first pitch to him is off the plate for ball one. 1 ball and no strikes. Rare start in the 2-hole for him with no Perdomo. 1-0. And Vargas will take that one just off the mark. Willie Traynor is calling balls and strikes. He's joined by Will Little at first, Ryan Wills at second, and Lance Barksdale, the crew chief, at third. 2 balls, no strikes. King winds and throws. And that's outside for ball 3. 3-0 the count.
Boy, good at bat going on right now. Remember, he can walk some guys. And even Marte's at bat, he swung at 2 pitches and we're out of the zone. So he really hasn't been in the zone yet so far in this game.
And King's 3-0 is high and outside.
So I didn't film a proper outro to my video. I really am a terrible YouTuber. The last clip was just, well, you just saw it. So anyway, it's well after midnight now. My fire's died down and gone out, and I'm about ready to go to bed. But it was a nice, peaceful, relaxing day, and I really like Buren State Park here. I don't think I ever even said in the video that's where I'm at, but that's where I showed up 2 days ago. And so I only went down to the beach just that one day. I'm going to see plenty of beaches and coastline. That's not why I really came here. But yeah, it's a great little trip here. I like this place for the most part. And tomorrow is moving day, which means I'm going on to my next campsite, and might do a little sightseeing along the way. And anyway, yeah, great day. Thanks for watching this if you did, and see you later.